Well, we are monitoring Helene in the Gulf of Mexico, which is headed towards Florida and forecast to become potentially a major hurricane. So a couple areas we're watching in the tropical Atlantic. Helene we're going to get to and spend the most time on here, but I want to talk about this potential tropical cyclone. High probability that this will become another named storm here in the next 7 days, but the European ensemble models and most of the other models do keep it out to sea. So that's the good news with that system. Helene, however, is expected to make landfall and is expected to potentially become a major hurricane, one of these rapid intensification scenarios. So right now, or as of 7 a.m. this morning, tropical storm Helene, maximum sustained winds around the center, 70 miles an hour, 74 miles an hour is the criteria for a hurricane. So will become a hurricane probably already this morning, maybe before we even get the official data, it might have already become a hurricane. So once it moves between the Yucatan and Cuba, Dominican Republic, those areas, it's going to move into some very warm waters here in the Gulf of Mexico. Again, rapidly becoming a hurricane and going from a Category 1 to potentially a Category 3 storm as it makes landfall here along the Florida coast, probably late Thursday, right in the Panhandle area. Most of the models do agree on bringing it right in that specific region here, right in the center of the Panhandle area of Florida. There's not a whole lot of variation in the track. What there is variation still in the forecast with Helene is just how intense will Helene become before it makes landfall. Anywhere from probably a Category 1 hurricane to potentially a Category 3 storm is the range in the models right now. And of course, that's a significant difference in terms of wind speeds and also potential storm surge. So Helene is expected to intensify, as I mentioned, in the Gulf pretty rapidly. You can see the colors there in the winds as it increases, making landfall here late Thursday. Wind speeds, maximum sustained winds here, probably around 120 miles per hour. That's Category 3 strength, and with a wide swath of wind gusts over that 120 mile per hour swath. The brown area here, those are the highest wind gusts. In addition, of course, a big storm surge. Florida is really susceptible, as well as the whole Gulf Coast, to storm surge. 10 to 15 foot storm surge out ahead of it. So it's that just east and northeast of the center of the eyes where we see the biggest wall of water or storm surge, in addition to, of course, a lot of rainfall. At least 6 to 8 inches of rain are these orange swaths, but it's worth looking at some of the models that are pointing out some of the potential higher totals, because we probably will see some totals like this. This is another thing we're seeing with these storms, is more intense rainfall. And you can see a very narrow swath of almost 1.5 feet of rain with Helene as well, in addition to that storm surge and, of course, the wind. And one of the things we talk about all the time, once these things make landfall, there is a severe weather risk separate from the hurricane, an enhanced risk along the Georgia and South Carolina coasts here of severe weather, and really the potential is for tornado spin-ups. You get a very high significant tornado parameter with these storms. You can imagine this thing spinning so fast and then it slows rapidly along land. It's just like putting your paddle through the water. It creates a lot of spin-ups. So tornadoes will be a possibility after landfall also.